Joining us live is key crossbench Senator Jacqui Lambie. Jacqui Lambie, thank you for your time. If I could start by asking you about what's happening with ALP at the moment. They've called in the National Executive to administer Victoria. Do you think that there's call for further inquiry into this branch stacking issue?
I certainly think they need to get a grip on all of this, and it's not just the Labor Party, it's the Liberal Party as well. I mean, this branch stacking's been going on for years and years and years. I cannot believe the amount of people already involved, that there was a lot of other people that didn't know what was going on. I mean, seriously, and I think they need to, if they don't make this transparent and they don't come out and tell the truth and bring everything out in the open, Labor is really going to struggle into the next election. So federal Labor has a lot of work to do on its hands, but once again, I cannot believe, after watching that report, that there isn't a lot more people that knew exactly what was going on here and nobody did a goddamn thing. And that is more worrying to me than anything else.
Do you think that there should be an inquiry into whether this is happening in the Liberal Party?
I think there should be an inquiry full stop on branch stacking right across the country, into all the both major parties. There's no doubts about that. Why not? Why not? Let's get to the bottom of this once and for all and see just how far this is going through both of them.
Now, there's legislation before Parliament at the moment that you're concerned about. It has to do with funding for the federal parties, and you're concerned that this could make it easier for federal Labor and Liberal to be funneling money to their state-level parties without any proper disclosure.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I just think here's the backdoor scrum. So instead of tightening up these political donations, which is what we're all coming for, they're actually weakening them. So I think that's very, very concerning. What's even more concerning is that when you're trying to rush something through Parliament and you've got both major parties trying to do that, that tells me that, and without the public even knowing what they're up to, that there is something definitely going on here. It is very, very concerning. It's already concerning that the amount of money that they can take, nearly $13,000 a day, is not accounted for. People have no idea, and that they don't have to actually disclose anything for 14 months. So, you know, there is a lot going on with these political donations while we're all trying to do the right thing up here as the miners at micro parties and independents. These guys here are up there having a party saying, you know what, the less people know about political donations coming in to our parties, the better. And I find that quite disgusting. I think that most Australians have had a gutful of people having to buy their seats, and that it buys you power. But it doesn't just do that, it buys political influence, like I've already said. These guys come in, they walk the hallways of Parliament, they're handing over cash, and nobody knows what the hell's going on, and it is a real problem. So for me, I say to Labor Party, you really are in a lot of trouble right now. So why don't you start showing some integrity, stand up to the Liberal Party down there in that chamber and say, you know what, these new laws are weakening the political donations, and we need to toughen up. You can separate yourself from the Liberal Party here and start showing them that you actually have a spine, and start putting some integrity back into the Labor Party, and this is your perfect opportunity to do this. But why Don Farrell is running around the back here doing dirty deals with Matthias Cormann over political donations, then once again, Australians, we've got a problem up here.
So what you're calling for is this electoral legislation amendment bill to be going to committee at least?
Yeah, so what we want to do is make sure it goes to committee, and I can tell you what, we have some very big, tough changes we'd like to make ourselves, and there'll be plenty of amendments coming from the micro parties and independents up here. So we'll see how serious they are about tightening up these political donations for the future. What this does is it is not democratic, these political donations, the way they're done already, and by weakening them is not good for the nation.
And if I can ask about Teddy Sheean, this is becoming an increasingly high-profile case with a big push in Tasmania for him to be awarded a VC. We understand there's polling being undertaken in Tasmania. We have a short clip of that, so if we could just play that now.
Were you previously aware that the federal government rejected a recommendation to award the Victorian Cross to Tasmanian World War II sailor Teddy Sheean? Press 1 for yes, you were aware this had been rejected. Press 2 for no, you were not aware. Press 3 if you are not sure.
So, Jacqui, you believe that that is a poll being done by the government?
Oh, absolutely. I believe it's a poll being done by the government, and let's see how much integrity they've got today and come out and admit that that is their poll that's running around Tasmania right now. Look, I can tell you now, when it comes to the Prime Minister, the way this has been done, when we've already had a tribunal that said award that Victoria Cross to Teddy Sheean, and then he goes out and picks 4 of his mates to oversight that decision I think, is pretty much about as low as what you can possibly get. I will tell the Prime Minister right now, it is a problem in Tasmania the way this has been handled. It is disgusting, and it will go against you in the next election. There is no doubts about that. And if you want to come out and the Liberals come out and say that I'm politicising this, well, after that poll that they've just done in Tasmania, I think, I'll tell you what, you've just hit a whole new low. And many Tasmanians have been on the phone to me asking what this is. By the way, just so the Prime Minister knows, Tasmanians don't like doing phone polls. As a matter of fact, they bloody hate them. So this was not the way to do things. You've already been told, Prime Minister, that Teddy Sheean deserves this Victoria Cross. Tasmanians have been fighting for that recognition for Teddy for years. For goodness sakes, mate, admit that you made a wrong call, you made the wrong mistake. You should have listened to what the tribunal said and just get on with it and award that Victoria Cross. But by putting 4 of your mates in now to oversight that decision, it's over, Prime Minister. Teddy Sheean deserves that Victoria Cross. For goodness sake, award it to him.
Because the argument that's put forward against awarding Teddy Sheean the Victoria's Cross is that people don't want to see it become a political manoeuvre for anyone to be able to interfere with the honours system. So what's your response to that?
The Tribunal Honour and Award system has already said to award Teddy Sheean that Victoria Cross. That's the first thing. The second thing is it would not have been a political football had the Prime Minister had just gone with the advice and the recommendations of the tribunal. So the only person making this a political football is the Prime Minister himself. And I can tell you what, the fight is on in Tasmania. I'm not going away, and neither are those Tasmanians, and they're not going to forgive you for the mess that you've actually made of this award when it should have been given to Teddy Sheean. And like I said, I'll say it again, it will reflect on you in the next election, because I can tell you I'll spend every last cent, which is not much, on billboards reminding Tasmanians what the Prime Minister has done here. It's not going away. Very stupid move. And if this is what he calls leadership, I tell you what, he wants to go and have a good look at himself in the mirror.
And just finally, you're based in northwest Tasmania. That was an epicentre for a while for coronavirus. How's your part of the world been faring?
Yeah, look, they've got back on their feet. They're out there. They're trying to get back out there to support local business. People are very wary still out there. They're doing their social distancing. Certainly what I can see, there's still many people where they can working from home, so good on them. It has been good that for the long weekend that the Premier down there, Peter Gutwein, relaxed the movement around the state, which was great. So many people out there could go in Tasmania and go down to their shacks, get out, do some camping, and I think that's been a really good move for their mental health. So, look, we'll just take each day as it comes. What Peter Gutwein did down there and got in early before all the other states and pretty much shut us down has worked an absolute treat. I think I don't even know if there's any cases down there today. There was a couple left last week. We knew about those. They were in isolation and they were relatable cases and we could trace them back. So I would say if we're not virus-free down there today, we're not far from it. So good on the Premier. I have encouraged him the whole way and I've supported him the whole way. He's made the right call. He showed some great leadership through that COVID-19 down in Tasmania and quite frankly, I applaud him.